Hello guys, seems like I've hit a problem here. Well, oh, I'll be right with you in just a moment. Just one moment, and we can talk. Gonna smack some zombies. Put them in the rice place. Alright, well, hey guys. I'm playing Unturned for the third time. Wait, third time you say? Third? This is only your second video. Well, that's true. It is only the second one I'm putting up. However, I did just finish recording one. Well, I did, and turns out I flip-flopped my stop and start, so I recorded my sitting still, and I did not record my playing and talking. An unfortunate mistake. So now I put my recording status up in the left corner because I wanted to be sure I'm recording this time and not a fool and play the fool and not record correctly. I'm just gonna get away from those folks. They look like they're prepared. Wow. Alright. Get away. The town is overrun by humans. Ah, not zombies. Okay. Look at this. Look, I picked up berries. They were in a bush. I think they added this since last time I played. Ain't that fancy. Hey, dude. Oh, and they added achievements? Bollocks, that's awesome. Doop 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 doop. Didn't work. Probably need electricity in this town. Sweet medicine. Oh, a rag? Dude, I can do so much with a rag. Well, you're probably wanting to talk about books, right? Right? That's what I want to talk about. Slug. Books. Yeah, I mean, there's books. People write books. There's one guy, an author, named Charles Dickens, who wrote a book. Bleak House, it's called. And that's what I'm reading. Or shall I say, that's what I just read. Finished Bleak House yesterday. The long haul through 800 pages. Didn't feel like a long book. I mean, it went quick. It was a quick story, but I finished it, and so let's talk about Bleak House. Now, on the synopsis of Bleak House on the back of my book, which I have the sweet, see, blueberries. Oh, moldy corn. Yeah, let's drop that. Nobody needs moldy corn. Look at those berries. On the back of, okay, my book, it's the Barnes & Noble Classics. I have a lot of those. That's kind of what I collect my classics in. I haven't really lately because I'm kind of at a point where I'm happy with how many I have. But it's fun. It's a good series. It looks good on the bookshelf. All uniform classics. Looks well. However, so on the back of that book, the synopsis, it says, Bleak House is considered by some to be Dickens' masterpiece. And I found that pretty interesting because not many people know Bleak House, or maybe they know it, but when they hear of a Dickens book, it's far down the list of what they would think of. Oh, bollocks. They would first think of, I would say, Tale of Two Cities, A Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist maybe, Great Expectations. I wouldn't expect Bleak House to fall until like 5th down the list, I would say at earliest, and yet here they're saying, oh, 2%. Here they're saying it's considered to be his masterpiece. And I think it's considered his masterpiece by critics, you know, the literary people who know what they're doing. And know what... Wow, I think I just got... Oh, I'm tripping. Oh, snap. Oh, snap, take some vitamins. What the world? Vitamins didn't even help. Need health. Literary critics who appreciate the finer points of literature and aren't in it as the masses are. And why I think they consider it as a masterpiece is it contains Dickens' special abilities as an author, special talents as an author, and his little things he does well as an author. They contain those pieces and they do it excellently. And those pieces, those talents, I think are... Wow, am I ever gonna get off this? I want to see color, baby. Talents are creating unique characters that have their own unique quirks. And, oh, there. Back to normal black and white. Whew. Love me black and white. Characters that have uniqueness, really identifiable and memorable characters. A plot line that really ties together in the end. A plot line that involves characters that at the start seem so far apart, but by the end are just so interconnected. And then, what was the third? Well, those are the two big ones that are powerful of Dickens, and they're done excellently in Bleak House. It's a long book. It's 800 pages, so there's plenty of room to add characters, and there's a lot of characters. Probably 25 main players, and all of them are unique. He puts quirks. I'm going to use the word quirks because it kind of evidences what I want to say. Each of them have their own unique quirks, which is fantastic for 25. And I can probably, you know, if I'm given the names, I can list their personality, their little habits that they do. I can list them, and I think that's impressive for for an author to do, to make his characters that memorable. He has Mr. Snagsby, who gives a little cough of deference whenever he's at a loss for words and he can't think of what to say, or when he thinks there should be a pause in his ing. And there is Harold Skimpole. Ooh, there's shots being fired, shots shooted. There's Harold Skimpole, who has the mindset of a child, and he is simple in everything he does. He doesn't know the facets of money, and he's constantly being in debt. Whenever he's given money, he spends it right away. And he basically lives off Mr. Jarndyce, who is a main player. Hello, folks. Don't kill me. Just want health. Don't. Alright, I'm leaving. Bye. He basically lives on Mr. Jarndyce. Without Mr. Jarndyce, he wouldn't get through in the world because his mind is developed fully, but he seems to have the experiences of a 10-year-old and lives in the world as if he is a 10-year-old. Rucksack. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, buddy. And then Mr. Jarndyce, which I just talked of. So he's the guardian, and he always, whenever things are going bad, he always says, "Oh, there's an east wind here." Even, you know, when he's in the middle of a house, he's like, "Oh, I feel the east wind blowing," and that signifies bad things. And so those are just a few of the things, you know, those character traits that they're just so, like, unique. And the thing that he does well is they stick with the character. You know, he doesn't just start off when they're introduced, describe him, give Mr. Snagsby his cough. No, that cough is with Mr. Snagsby through the whole book. And, you know, nearly every time Snagsby talks, he coughs. and every time something bad happens around Mr. Jarndyce, he complains of the east wind, and everything Harold Skimpole, in every of his actions, he is as if he is a 10-year-old child. And oh bollocks! I knew I got too close. Yeah, respawn. Hey, look at that vibrant green color. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's pretty. Wow, look at those leaves of grass. Man, that's nice. Oh, and that flower. Oh, that's good. That's really good. And so the personality of the character sticks to them like glue. It's like us. We have a personality and we can't just divorce that personality when we want to. Or, I mean, in a sense, I mean, if we really want to and we're really thinking about it. But in our everyday actions, that personality is with us in everything we do. And so are the personality of Dickens' characters. It's as if he is retelling a true story with these true characters, because the traits and personality of the character isn't forced in. It just comes out naturally, as if they're a living, breathing thing that he's writing. And that, I think, is Dickens' greatest power as an author, just his characters. I love reading about his characters. They're just so fun, and they're memorable. And the names are great. I mean, Snagsby, Jarndyce, they're just so... Filling up, huh? Nice. Oh. I can remember more names from Dickens books than I can from anything else, any other book that I've read. And I'm not good with remembering names from the books I've read. And so that's a huge plus on Dickens' part. I think he does just wonderful with that. Cloth. Cool. Gas can. Get on the flow. Get on the flow. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, could you? Thanks, bud. Oh, snap. Thanks. Give him a little. Thanks. Oh. Well, my thank you got me killed almost, so that's why you don't ever thank people. Folks, thanking is overrated. Oh, man. The other big specialty that Dickens has is his plots just are so intertwined, and by the end of the book, all the characters seem to all be connected from their past. Like, they're all just intertwined like a twisted braid of a rope. That's his plot. And it's exciting, even though I come to expect it almost when I'm reading a Dickens book. I'm like, oh, these characters are all going to be have some connection from their past. But it's still exciting just to see how they all come together. Masterful storytelling. And Bleak House is just the same. There's 25 characters. And by the end, it seems like, you know, they've all had their connections intertwined. It's quite spectacular. And so, once again, in Bleak House, he does that very well, which is why it could be worthy of being called his masterpiece. And now, Dixie hat. Sweet. Which, now I'll say that I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment that it is a masterpiece. Tale of Two Cities still affected me way more and was a more powerful story, along with Great Expectations I really loved. I'd put those ahead of Bleak House as far as his good work. Another thing I just thought of, he has brutal stories, like in Bleak House especially are brutal. Like, he does not care to kill off one of his characters. He just says, hey, yeah, this guy needs to die, deal with it. I mean, there was two characters which were pretty near on main characters in this book that I thought for sure would live, because I don't know, it just felt like it. But no, he killed him. There's one guy. So he had an illness and he was laying on his bed, but I thought he'd pull through. I thought he would get better because it was near the end of the book, and I was like, well, this is going to have a happy ending, and this guy needs to live to have a happy ending. And he says while laying there, I am very weak, sir, but I hope I shall be stronger. I have to begin the world. So he says that, and you're almost like, oh, Dickens is leading us on to believe he's having a change of heart, and he's going to be a better man once he recovers from this illness. But turn the page, and he's dead. Dead as a dead thing. And there's a couple other characters that I didn't think would die, but they died. So Dickens is brutal. Like, I often think of Dickens as kind of lighthearted, but I mean, he's not. He's very real. Like Tale of Two Cities is a saddening book. And he just he really describes the poverty of life in London and kind of all around, and the hardships of life. And yeah, I guess sometimes I think of him as lighthearted, but he's not necessarily. I mean, he is lighthearted with a very dark undertone, a very somber and serious undertone, and that is evidenced in Bleak House. So that was my reading on Bleak House. I enjoyed it. I don't know. You can read it if you want. It wouldn't be a loss of your time, but I would read those other Dickens books first, of course. Look at this view. This is a good place to end the view and the viewing of this video with this view. Oh, and my death. Oh. Well, till next time. Bye, guys.